We will go ahead and get started for our SEL lesson today. Today we're going to talk about our second steps lesson. This is lesson number 14, and it's going to combine some ideas we've already been learning about. We have already learned about positive self-talk. We know that we talk to ourselves. Sometimes we say bad things to ourselves. Sometimes we say positive, good things to ourselves. So today we're going to learn more about that. We're going to learn all about when we talk to ourselves. We want it to be positive words that will help us. So I'm looking for students who are focusing their attention. It means you're sitting up tall. Your eyes, ears, and brain are looking at the instruction. And today we get to learn from Mrs. Sousa. Let's go ahead and listen to our lesson.
Today, we will continue with our Second Steps curriculum by looking at Unit 3, Lesson 14. Today, you're going to learn about a powerful emotion called disappointment. When you don't achieve your goals, it can feel really disappointing. Today, you'll learn how to manage disappointment. You'll have another chance to practice how to manage emotions before you flip your lid. This is Leo. He's been learning to pitch. His baseball team has an important game on Saturday, and Leo's goal was to be the first pitcher. The coach chose another player to pitch first instead. Focus your attention on Leo's face and body and think about the situation. How do you think he feels? Take a moment to discuss with your class.
All right, so right now we're practicing empathy. We're looking at Leo's face and his body to practice empathy, which is thinking about what Leo might be feeling. Who can share out a word that describes what Leo is probably feeling in this picture? Gloria?
Disappointment.
Thank you. Are there other words that come to your mind? Any other students who would like to share out? What is he feeling right now? A word I thought of was sad. When I look at Leo's face, he looks sad right now in this picture. So we can practice empathy by looking at people's bodies and their faces, and we can use our empathy to see how they are feeling. Let's keep going as we learn from Mrs. Sousa all about Leo and his disappointment today.
Leo is feeling disappointed, sad, and let down. We can tell by looking at his body language, thinking about the situation that he's in, and reading his facial expressions. Leo is so disappointed, he feels like crying. His strong feelings are making him feel uncomfortable. Show a thumbs up if you've ever felt disappointed before. There's a lot of you, because everyone feels disappointed at times. But sometimes the feeling is so strong, your body feels uncomfortable and it's hard to think. When this happens, we need to calm down. We learned about how to calm down in past Second Steps lessons. So, how can Leo calm down? What could he do? Share your ideas with your class.
So right now, we're going to go into a breakout room. We're going to talk about Leo and his situation. Remember, Leo is feeling sad and disappointed because he wanted to be the pitcher in the baseball game. But the coach chose somebody else. So we're going to go into a breakout room. We're going to talk about how can Leo practice calming down. Don't forget, you have some clues here on the screen of the steps of how we can calm down. In our breakout rooms, we talked about how Leo can practice these steps. He can use his stop signal, like saying, hey, wait a second. Then he can name his feeling. He can say, I feel disappointed, or I feel sad, that the coach chose somebody else. Then he can practice a calm down strategy, like he can breathe, he could count, or he could use positive self-talk. So today we're going to focus on that. We're going to focus on positive self-talk and how that can calm our bodies when our feelings are very strong.
Hopefully, you suggested that Leo use his stop signal word, that he name his feelings, and that he does some belly breathing to calm down. At first, he feels better, but then he starts to think about the situation again. He says to himself, I must be a terrible pitcher if the coach didn't pick me. Maybe I should just quit. What kind of self-talk is Leo using? Show a thumbs up if it's positive, and show a thumbs down if it's negative. This is a pretty negative statement. Showing a thumbs down says that you agree Leo should not be thinking about himself in such a negative way. Self-talk can affect how you feel. Negative self-talk makes feelings stronger that are negative. Positive self-talk can help us calm down and think clearly. Positive self-talk can also help us think about what we're going to do next. Think about what positive self-talk Leo could use to help himself calm down.
So as Mrs. Sousa is teaching us, there's negative self-talk and there is positive self-talk. You can say things to yourself that make you feel worse. Bad things, like Leo's doing right now. He says, I must be a terrible pitcher if the coach didn't pick me. Maybe I should just quit. That's a negative way to talk. It doesn't help him think. It doesn't help him feel calm, and it's not true. You shouldn't say things about yourself that are not true. Positive self-talk is when we say things to ourselves that help us feel better. They help us be calm, they help us think clearly, and they are true things. I want you to go into your breakout room and we're going to talk about positive self-talk that Leo can say instead. If the coach didn't pick Leo and he feels disappointed and sad, what are some positive things he can say to himself? We're going to do that now.
Turn and tell your partner your ideas. Leo could say, I'm a good pitcher. I can get better with practice, and I will get my turn soon. Leo calms down using positive self-talk. Then he rethinks his goal to be the starting pitcher for the team. He decides that he really wants to achieve his goal, but he needs a plan. Again, Leo's goal is to train harder so he gets to be the first pitcher in the next game. We learned about 3-step plans in our first Second Steps unit. Remember, a 3-step plan means that the order makes sense, it's simple, and you can do it. What plan could Leo create for himself to achieve his goal of being the first pitcher in the next games? Share.
Mrs. Sousa is teaching us that when we use positive self-talk, one thing we can say to ourselves is a plan we have for success. If Leo wants to be the first pitcher in the baseball game, but he doesn't make a plan to get better at baseball, how is that going to work? First, he has to get his body calm. Then he has to use positive self-talk. And finally, he has to come up with a plan of how he can become a better pitcher so the coach chooses him next time. Let's hear Mrs. Sousa's ideas for what type of plan Leo has for training to be a better pitcher.
Share your ideas with your class. Leo comes up with a 3-step plan. First, he'll ask his coach for help with his pitching skills. Second, he'll practice pitching for 30 minutes every day. Third, after 2 weeks of practicing, he will ask the pitcher to be the pitcher again. With perseverance, the ability to keep trying, Leo can achieve his goal. This is a good plan for Leo because the order makes sense, it's simple, and it's something that he can do. Today, you're going to practice using positive self-talk and coming up with good plans to help yourselves manage the strong feeling of disappointment. Today, we will continue with our Second Steps curriculum by
Next, boys and girls, we're going to find our task on Seesaw. Please click on Activities, Assign to Class folder, light blue, SEL, and you will see our Second Steps lesson for today. It's called Unit 3, Lesson 14. When you open our Seesaw task for SEL, you will see 2 slides that give 2 different situations that require positive talk. Let's do the first one together. First, look at the picture. Then, read the directions. Use the type tool or the microphone tool to record your positive self-talk for this situation. The situation says, you worked really hard to create an awesome Lego tower. Your little brother came in and smashed it with a baseball bat. You think to yourself, ugh, I am so stupid. Why did I let him in here? Now my work is completely ruined. How can you change your negative self-talk to positive self-talk? What could you say to yourself instead? Just like the directions asked, you may use the text tool to type a positive self-talk, or you can use the microphone to record a positive self-talk to say to yourself in this situation. You have 3 minutes to work on positive self-talk for this situation. You may begin. Now, boys and girls, let's look at slide number 2 together. First, look at the picture. Then, read the directions. Use the type tool or the microphone tool to record your 3-step plan and positive self-talk for this situation. So now we're going to say positive self-talk and a plan for success. Let's read the situation together. On the bus, you and your friend are looking at your graded assignments. Your friend sees she got an F on a writing project. She says, I am a terrible writer. This is why I tell my mom I don't want to do my assignments because I know I will fail anyway. What advice would you give to your friend to make a plan to do better? What positive self-talk could she use instead? You are going to think of advice you would give your friend to make a plan so she can do better on her work. And you're going to give her some positive self-talk she could say instead of negative self-talk. Your job is to record or type your response. You have 3 minutes to work on slide number 2.